This is the Blind Grilling Experience, and I am the most interesting griller in the world. Hello, BGE Nation. This is Chris Peltz back with you, and today we have just an awesome episode of the Blind Grilling Experience for you, and I am so excited to be introducing a special guest for today's program, and one that we hope to have on quite often. And his name is John Grimes. John is someone that I met in person just over 2 years ago when we delivered our third Big Green Egg package through Blind Grilling. And we delivered this package to him. You can check out all about the delivery. You can check out about his loss of eyesight on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/blindgrilling. Go to our playlist and go to the Blindsided playlist. And it was our third delivery, and it's John Grimes. It was just an awesome experience for us. And after 2 years of just kind of talking back and forth on the phone and him having this Big Green Egg all to himself, he's now come to tell us all about it. John, good to have you on the program.
Hey, Chris. Great to be here talking with the most interesting griller in the world. What an honor.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate it. And it's great to have you for sure. And, up until, leading up to 2 years ago, you had an interest in grilling. And I know this because not only had there been a little bit of contact for you reaching out to me through Blind Grilling, but your brother as well, who reached out and kind of gave me some more information about you, and I knew you had the interest, you had the desire, you had the want to when it comes to grilling, and we hooked up, made it happen. And how has the past 2 years been for you with the Big Green Egg?
It's hard to put it into words, really. It's been wonderful. I had the grilling experience too. I lost my vision in my teenage years, so I wasn't any kind of expert griller, but I definitely knew how to grill things, and at least at a low level. So I was probably a little intimidated about being in a grill setting. And it was seeing the videos that you were doing and that techniques and some things like that really kind of inspired me to say, yeah, I think I can do that. And absolutely I could. And I owe it all to you. So, and it's been tremendous. I mean, I've cooked, I can't tell you how many times I've cooked on that thing in 2 years.
Yeah. Now, I didn't introduce you to the egg though. Now your brother has an egg. And so you had been around it a little bit just when he was cooking.
Yeah, and that was my tie-in to you, because when he was on YouTube looking at grilling videos and with the egg, I think he actually is the one that found you and told me about you. So I'd been around it, but not anything more than just, hey, that's a cool grill. It's green, so it's cool.
Right,
I like it.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
So it wasn't really until I saw your videos that I understood the power that was available, that I had available. Once I understood kind of how to use it, and the thing that for me is that makes it all possible is the Flame Boss.
Right.
I'm sure it's not difficult over time to understand how to get the grill to the temperatures that you want, and that's something I really need to do because I rely way too much on the Flame Boss. The autopilot there, it just talk about shortening the learning curve of using a smoker. Yeah. I mean, it's like I think it's cheating. I mean, I will gladly cheat. I'm not opposed to that. Yeah. But I just think, like, you talk to people that are using offset smokers or the stick burners and stuff, that they don't use that kind of stuff, and they probably look at me and I like, this guy's a rookie, but that's fine. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And really they are relying on the same information that you're relying on. It's just how you're getting it. That's one of the big differences, I think, with the Flame Boss and less. Okay, yeah, it's cheating. We can try to manipulate that and try to say, well, but we are receiving.
I don't feel bad about it, though.
That's right. I don't either.
and because of our unique abilities, it's I think it's pretty necessary.
Yes, it is.
Now over time, I may be able to come up with a way to regulate the temperature on my own, but I won't be able to come up with a plan for going to sleep at night with some meat on and, setting an alarm for when it gets too hot,
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen without the Flame Boss. So there are certainly even reasons for someone with full vision to use it anyway. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
Being just from when I was raised, in my movie upbringing, I consider the Flame Boss to be the flux capacitor of grilling, which is what makes grilling possible.
It is the cruise control for your grill. Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. And of course, you've just taken off with it too, because I can remember, just call after call, which I loved, by the way. This is not a complaint, but text message and calls, this is what I'm cooking this week. And that got me so excited and stoked for, for some of my own cooks and some of some of the videos we did, was just hearing about what you were doing, what you were cooking, and the things you were trying, and the new things that were going about. So, what has been over the past 2 years? What is probably your favorite thing to cook, and if they're the same, that's fine. But the most challenging that you've really feel like you're getting down really well.
Wow, that's a large window of things there for me. I would say the thing that we've cooked the most of my family is really not into necessarily barbecue, which is a really precarious position for me to be in here. So they wouldn't consider pulled pork or brisket to be a desirable thing for them. They'll eat it, but not with the same tenacity that I would. So the thing that we've cooked probably the most is going to be hamburgers and bratwurst. And yeah, probably hamburgers and bratwurst.
Now there were some steaks you did quite a bit of too.
Yeah, and we've done quite a bit of steaks. We like in my family, flank steak is a delicacy, believe it or not. So in fact, we picked up a couple flank steaks at the store today, and those are going on sometime in the next 2 days. But we've cooked a ton of fillets. Some ribeyes. We've tried a couple other New York strips, a couple other cuts. My favorite is the filet.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, mine too.
That's a pretty easy one though to be everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite thing to cook personally has been pork shoulder, pork butt, Boston butt, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
When I go to barbecue places, that's typically what I'll have. So that's kind of how I gauge barbecue places, is by their pulled pork. So I'm trying to master that. I like brisket. I like sausage. I like pretty much everything. I like ribs, but the thing that I like, I think the most is pulled pork. So that's probably my favorite thing to cook.
Right.
We've cooked some briskets. Of course, we cooked ribs right off the bat. That's what we cooked when you came to see me.
Yeah, the first cook. Yep, that's right.
So we've cooked.
You've done some
tri-tips. Forgot about that. We've done several I got in a tri-tip groove there for a while. I was cooking a lot of those, and I haven't done that for a few months now for some reason. But that's gonna write.
What about
down.
sides? Have you done any sides
on the grill? I would say no. I think the only side I ever cooked on the grill would be potatoes and corn. I've cooked corn on the cob.
Yeah. Okay.
Several times, and baked potatoes, but
no asparagus.
No, we haven't really done any veggies.
Yeah.
To speak of, we generally will cook those inside. My wife does a pretty good job with that stuff.
Sure.
We do eat a lot of green stuff. We eat asparagus and kale and green beans and things, but she generally cooks those inside. So Brussels sprouts, things like that. So we do make beans, which we made when you were here. We kind of tweaked the recipe from when you were here, but it's pretty similar to how it was. But we do that on the stovetop and inside too.
Now, I'm going to have to share with you some Brussels sprout ideas for the egg because, oh man, there's some awesome things and great results you can have with Brussels sprouts out on the egg. But yeah, that which is awesome. So we've still got some work to do with you, right? To get you.
I've got tons of work.
Yeah, right.
I'm still a work in progress.
So, but man, you're all the meat though. I mean, burgers, hot dogs, brats. The tri-tips, the steaks that you've been cooking. I've heard a lot about that. You let me know about those cooks, which is awesome. What about salmon? Have you done any salmon?
I've done no fish.
No fish? No. So in the package, when we delivered that, you had, of course, the large Big Green Egg, the Flame Boss, which was the two centerpieces basically of that, and then the Kick-Ash basket, some accessories for in the egg, the basket, and of course the plate setter. You had a pen friend too for labeling things. There was the instant read thermometer from ThermoWorks. Of course, rubs and sauces from some of our partners like Lane's Barbecue and 441 South Barbecue. Wood Dog Sauces, I think, was with us then, and a few others. So there's been quite a bit of things that we gave. However, you've added to your arsenal just a little bit, and that's what I want to talk about here next. But before we do that, let's mention one of our partners, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about some of the accessories you've added to your arsenal for your grilling. So hold on just a second. And in honor of John Grimes being with us this week, we are going to be talking about our partner, Flame Boss, cruise control for your grill. Check them out at flameboss.com. Folks, this thing is amazing. Not only does it connect to your Wi-Fi and can control the temperature of your charcoal grill, especially the Camadoo grills, but you can monitor the temps. You can tell it to go up and down. You can monitor your meat temperatures. You can monitor it from your phone, from your Alexa device. You can monitor it from across town or around the world. It is so amazing. Cruise control for your grill. Check out some of the videos we've got on it on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/blindgrilling, or go directly to their website at flameboss.com. All right, John. So like we said, you've had some things that you've added to your arsenal, some accessories, and Father's Day is coming up. Why don't you tell us some of the things that you've added that I think have been the most, or you rather think have been the most productive and useful accessories that you've added, and maybe give some folks some ideas for Father's Day coming up, because whether they're sighted or not, if they're grilling, smoking, especially if they're blind or visually impaired, I'm sure, but some of these accessories have got to be something that's be useful for anyone and everyone out there.
Yeah, there are a lot that I've added. I don't even know where to begin. Except I should say, just to add on to what you just said about the Flame Boss, it's just tremendous. I can't say enough good things about the Flame Boss and the people behind the Flame Boss. I've communicated with them on a few occasions on some things, and it is the response time and everything is wonderful. Probably one of the first things I got, because I have a Flame Boss 300, and I got an extra meat probe. Can never go wrong with an extra meat probe.
Right.
So that's been invaluable to me.
Right. Yeah. And of course, they have the 400 now, which allows for the one meat probe, and then the 500, which will allow for more meat probes.
Yeah, I've got my eyes set on that 500. That's that looks pretty good. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Absolutely. They, like you said, they are a great company and great folks, doing what they can. And
that's been my experience. It's just been it's been phenomenal.
Which is awesome.
Probably my favorite thing that I've added, just because it's cool and it makes me really, really flex my manly muscle is the torch to light.
Right? Yeah.
The J.J. George torch, which basically is just a blowtorch.
Yeah.
But it's certainly the part that is kind of necessary about it is it cuts down on the up to temperature time. You can torch that thing for, at least I do, for 30 to 90 seconds or so, and within the matter of a couple, maybe 10 minutes, be up to 350 degrees.
Yeah.
If you get it in the right spots and have the charcoal and stuff placed correctly. So it's just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I mean, I use it as well. And that's something that we'll probably consider including in the packages. But man,
it's not expensive.
No, it's not.
I was using the starters, and the trouble that I was running into was the wind. Like I had the little chimney fireplace lighters, and I would put the starters in, and sometimes it would be so windy that lighter would blow out before the starter would catch, and then my starters got dried, and then they got wet, and then I was at the last time I used a starter, I took it into my house and turned on my gas cooktop, and that's how I lit it.
Okay. Yeah.
I had it in a pair of tongs. I put them under my. Of course, my wife's looking at me like the house is about to burn down.
Yeah. Right.
And so luckily it wasn't too far to the back porch, but I go out the door and then kind of try to bury the lit starter in the charcoal. I was like, all right, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
And there is a better way.
That's right. Yeah. Again, that J.J. George grill torch is available at kickashbasket.com. And they sell it there. And I think last I checked was like $37.
Yeah, it's not real expensive because,
right.
The price of the starters is going to be in that range also, $15 to $25 probably. And the fuel for it it's just propane, and the tanks are $1 or $2, and they usually last me about 6 months maybe.
Yeah, they last a long time. I mean, it's
yeah.
So you
it's really not expensive,
right? No, it's not. It's not, and it sounds so cool when you light that
it's
grill.
Awesome.
You you hear that shh, and then the whoosh. I mean, it's cool. So I definitely love the J.J. George grill torch for sure. What are some of the bigger? I mean, that's on the low end, and we'll come back to some of the low end accessories, but there are some big end kind of more expensive things I think you've added.
Yeah, there certainly are those too, especially when you're talking about the big green egg. Everything is good. The biggest physical one, and probably the most expensive one, was a table.
Yeah.
I got the Nest with the handler and the side mounted tables, which was fine. But then as I keep grilling and I keep getting bigger things and more things, and just to kind of go back to what we said earlier, there's 52 weeks in a year. And I'm telling you, in the first 2 years of having that thing, I can count the weekends I didn't grill on probably one hand.
Yeah.
That was because I was out of town, or it was just terrible weather, either way too hot or just way too cold. And as I kept going, I kept needing more space. I had more accessories, needed a place to store them outside. So I got a table. Mine's wooden. I got it at a hardware store here locally. It's been awesome. Then there's a cover for that, and all the bins and things
now,
that go.
When you say cover, let me ask you this, because this is something that I hear a lot. Is a lot of folks, and it's there's big kind of a debate out there about whether or not they actually use the cover or not. So you've got the cover. Do you really use it?
Most of the time, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
now,
and
what's interesting about that?
Too, yeah,
I think it extends the life of the felt.
Well, that's what I tell myself. So
yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, it probably does.
I've seen people that have had to change. I'm still using the same felt.
Oh yeah,
about 2 years in. I think I need to change it. It still does have some spring to it, so it's not hard.
Right.
And falling. It's not coming off anywhere. I just feel like it is about time to change mine, but I haven't yet. So
yeah.
I think the fact that I cover it keeps, although it does get a little wet in there, I think it keeps that dry. There's usually never water on
Yeah,
on
and I'm sure
And
that helps just with the shape of the egg
and direct sun off of it too.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I'm in Texas and it does get hot.
So, what are some of the probably the most useful, or what do you use the most besides the George grill torch to light your grill? With the cooks that you do, what are some of the more useful accessories that you picked up?
Yeah, the thing that I got pretty soon too was the expander basket. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but in the Big Green Egg expansion kit,
right?
There's a basket where the convector plate setter sits.
Yeah, so they've got a single piece, they've got a 3-piece, and they got a 5-piece expander.
Yes.
And the one piece is the basket that you're talking about, which
Yes.
holds the convector or plate setter.
It is so easy to get the plate setter in and out. It is.
That's right. I know that's probably one of my absolute favorite Big Green Egg branded accessories ever. Just because it is so much easier when you go to light your grill, when for any reason
you need to put some wood in,
right? Yeah, cleaning it,
change something, cleaning it. Yeah,
just whatever it is, just to be able to lift everything out in one fell swoop, and boom, it's there.
And it can be screaming hot, and it which is the next accessory that I use all the time is gloves. I got all kinds of gloves to help pull that thing in and out. But something else I use very often, because again, we eat a lot of hamburgers here, is the fish basket, which is a video that I saw you do. I don't know when that was, a year ago maybe, but the grocery store where we are, they make pre-made little sliders, and that basket, I think it's a Weber.
Yes, it is.
Fish basket holds 12 of the burgers that our store makes. So we load that thing up with 12 burgers pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And we had a birthday party here where I was going to make 24 of them, and I almost bought a second basket just so I could just move one without having to switch it out, switch the burgers out. So I think I'll probably get another one of those just because it's so valuable to me.
And you've never used it for fish?
I've never used it for fish. That's right.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't either. I've used it for several times for a lot of things, but never fish. Interestingly enough, as a matter of fact, we received an email from a guy named Philip who's visually impaired, and he uses the fish basket as well. And he uses it for steaks, for burgers, for chicken breast. And he had a question about when he uses that fish basket for steaks, because he gets it so hot over the firebox that he's cooking on, that fish basket is so hot that even with the gloves that he has, it's very difficult to grab and have enough time to move it off of the grill. And he was wanting to know if I had any ideas about how maybe to make that easier, or a better way to grab it or anything. And one of the things I wanted to say about that is, first of all, not all gloves are created equal. I don't know what type of glove Philip has, but there are some gloves out there that, little small, warm things, they're fine. But when it comes to screaming hot things, they're not fine. Probably one of the best gloves that I've had for hot accessories for heat resistance are the gloves that I get from kickashbasket.com. Those heat resistant gloves they've just done better than any glove I've ever tried. And a pair of them are $30, not just for one hand, but for both hands. All right. A pair of those gloves. And you still have a good dexterity. You still have the silicone cover. They're cotton gloves, but you got all of the fingers. You can feel really well, and they just do a great job of resisting heat. And so that's one thing I would recommend on that. And then secondly, to double up, if your glove isn't enough, maybe get a second glove, a cotton liner or something, put on, and then your heat resistant gloves over that to add just a little bit more resistance, and see if that would help. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and mention that particular partner with us. Hold on just a second. kickashbasket.com. Shake that ash and light the that fire. Folks, they've got accessories for all types of grills, not just Camadoo, Big Green Egg, KJ. They've got accessories for the PK grill. They've got accessories for your Weber and the Blaze and all kinds of other grills if you check them out at kickashbasket.com. They've got your gloves, the JJ George grill torch, and of course the famous Kick Ash basket, charcoal basket for your grill, and the Kick Ash can to catch all that ash and make for an easy cleanup. One of the absolute best accessories you can get for your grill for not only charcoal management, fire management, but cleanup afterwards as well. And of course, they've got some really cool shirts along with that as well. So check them out online at kickashbasket.com. So, John, are there anything else that really stands out at you? Because I know you use the skewers, right? Do you use metal skewers?
No, I just use bamboo.
You use bamboo? You soak them?
In a perfect world, I would.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Everyone always talks about that, and I don't either. Because usually by the time I grab them and I'm ready to use them, I'm like, oh.
It's too late.
It's
I have too much stuff going on in my house to really be that
That's
prepared.
Right. I know. Yeah, that's right.
I soaked them probably the first 2 or 3 times I did it, and then the next time I didn't have time, and I just totally, I don't do it.
Yeah.
And
it's like washing the car the first few months after you buy it, and then it's a car. It's dirty.
I mean, I bought a pack of, I don't know, maybe 60 to 100 skewers at the store, bamboo.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been well over a year. Same bag in there, and just grab 1 or 2. It fits. I haven't cooked hot dogs, but we cook brats, and I can fit 5 or 6 brats on one of those.
Yeah, man, it makes it easy for turning.
Usually come in a 5-pack, so I can easily fit that. But when I get the single ones from the deli, I can usually fit 6 of them on there.
Yeah.
And it just makes, that technique that I learned from you has been invaluable. It just makes it so easy.
Oh, yeah, man. When it comes to flipping hot dogs or stuff, rather than having them roll all over the place, trying to find them with a pair of tongs or anything like that, it just, even reaching in with your hand, sometimes you bump them, they roll, and then you're searching for them on a hot grill. And, putting them on the skewers, just, you find the skewer, you like turning a page in a book, man. Just rotate them, and
it is so easy. And before I was using that, and the same is true with the fish basket for hamburgers. Sometimes I'd flip something, and I don't know if I flipped it. Like, did I flip it? And then I'd have to, hey, come over here. Does this look like it's been cooked? And I was like, no, that's not going to work. There's got to be a better way. So the fish basket and the skewers for the dogs is, it's invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when I'm doing pork butts and things like that, I generally will get like a little aluminum pan. Big Green Egg sells them.
Yeah.
But they're also, I noticed that in my grocery store they have deep dish pizza pans that are the exact same
diameter
size that it needs to be to fit. So sometimes I use those too.
That's a great idea.
Just to catch stuff and get it out of there. But
sure.
Something else I just thought of, going back to the expander basket thing.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to the ease of getting the plate setter in and out, something that I didn't like about the grill grates being in there without that plate setter was that they were down below the felt line.
Right.
Probably about an inch or something like that. It wasn't a real problem, but it just made I felt like I was getting my hand in areas where I didn't want to put my hands.
Yeah. Down
kind of closer. It was closer to the fire anyway. And that the expander basket, it raises it up. So it's even with the felt line. So it's that was almost as equally handy for me as it was the ease of getting the plates.
It is really nice having that, if you're doing a direct cook, not only raising it a little bit further from the fire, but having it level with the rim of that egg makes things a lot easier, for, when you if someone uses a spatula or a flipper or something, rather than reaching down below that rim line, it's level, even with it, and then you can just kind of reach across that grate and not worry about your upper forearm, getting burned on the side, just inside the grill. So yeah, you're right. That is an awesome benefit to having that basket for the plate setter to raise that grate up, even if the plate setter's not in. So yeah, absolutely.
And I've got the 5-piece on my list. If anybody, if anybody's got any Father's Day ideas for me, I'll take the 5-piece.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I need to get some levels going on in there.
Right. Absolutely. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, I tell you what, we are gonna be wrapping it up, but I want you to be regular. I want you back on. We got a lot of things to talk about, because with the last 2 years of grilling, I mean, we've just kind of touched on the things you're doing. You've been doing a lot of cool stuff as far as the techniques, and I'm sure I want you to walk through, in some upcoming programs, some of the methods that you use, to share with folks, because it can be intimidating when you're working with live fire and you're visually impaired. And so there's had to been some steps you walked through in order to, go from the indirect cook to a direct, to go from, a 250 degree cook to a 350 or 400 degree cook. So, I'm sure you had to do some mental prep and some other, work to get to that point. So that's something I'd like to, talk about in the future as well.
Yeah, that sounds great. There is some mental work involved in it, but it's all a ton of fun.
Yeah, it is.
But we are standing within inches of fire, so got to be aware of that too.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. All right. Well, John, good to have you on, man. And it's been fun. I always enjoy talking with you and hearing about your cooks. And if anybody wants to send John a 5-piece big green egg expander for the large egg, send us an email at blindgrilling@gmail.com. I'm sure he'd be willing to take that. And maybe, who knows, maybe your wife will listen to this episode, and it'll be under the pine tree in the backyard or something.
Let's hope so.
That's right. Awesome, man. Well, again, thanks for coming on. Appreciate that. Always good talking with you, and look forward to doing this quite often. And because we've got a lot of knowledge to share, I think, not only in cooking, but we've got knowledge to share in a lot of aspects when it comes to blindness, visual impairments, technology, and things like that. So that's something we can look forward to in the future. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Blind Grilling Experience. My name is Chris Peltz. I am the most interesting griller in the world. And remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking.